And we back! All right, Knicks fans, this for you. Because last year, y'all were one of the most surprising teams in the entire NBA. Went from a non-playoff team to a playoff team. New York was going crazy, and it was insane. And then this year, y'all completely missed the play-in. What happened? Well, I'm here to fix those things. The last time the Knicks won the championship, it wasn't even called the Larry O'Brien Trophy just yet. It's been some time, y'all, and this video will not end until I get them one. Leave a like, subscribe if you are new. Let's get into it. All right, so I downloaded someone else's start today, and as you can see, we are not very good. So bad that for these last 4 games, I'm resting and sitting everybody. Yep. You might be mad, RJ, but you're shut down for the rest of this. Oh, I can't do that because everybody else on the roster is injured. Never mind. You know what? No, Ryan Arcidiacono, you're the starting small forward of the New York Knicks for these last 5 games. And if our best player is not playing, Mitchell Robinson's upset, it's okay. We probably gonna lose you on restricted free agency anyway. As long as my best player is not playing, I'm guessing these are going to be 4 L's, even though one is to the Orlando Magic. Never mind. We beat the Orlando Magic, but we're going to lose the 2 of the last 4 games or wins. Regardless, Jokic wins MVP, Kay Cunningham wins Rookie of the Year, Andre Drummond wins 6th Man of the Year, Giannis Offensive Player of the Year, and Wendell Carter Jr. wins Most Improved. Okay, cool. Let's see who's going to go out. LaMelo, All-NBA first team. Let's see who's going to go out there and win the championship this season. The Memphis Grizzlies did that, y'all. So that's interesting. Shout out to the Grizzlies, man. Shout out to them. All right, so we go to the NBA draft lottery. We do have our own pick, which is great. We have the 9th best odds to go out there and get the first overall pick, and we stay at number 9. Not too bad, though. We'll take number 9 for now. I think there's going to be some players out there that might be wanting to be freed. And some of y'all know where I'm going with this. It might even be in the thumbnail. There's a specific player I want to free up and bring him to New York. It's Mr. Donovan Mitchell. Now, all of this is in the hypothetical situation that the Utah Jazz did not make it out of the first round, or this duo decides that they don't want to play together no more. And he's got to be a tough player to trade for sure, being almost a 90 overall and only 25 years old. And do we have the pieces to make that happen? That's the big question mark. $30 million in cap. Julius Randle has told the organization that he's not trying to come back here, even though we just signed him to an extension. And they aren't going to be super interested in just doing that. So we got to make it worthwhile for them. So everybody's back from injury. I simulated until up into the NBA draft. I'm thinking that we throw in Julius Randle to start off with. And then we can't keep all of the young players in this hypothetical trade. As much as I want to keep Emmanuel Quickley because we really like Emmanuel Quickley, and a Donovan Mitchell trade, I feel like that's a must. We have to give them this 9th overall pick too, and I would assume that they probably want Cam Reddish too. Julius, Emmanuel, 1 first-round pick might not be enough. We might have to throw another one in, and Cam Reddish for Donovan Mitchell is a yes. Jazz fans, you probably clicked off the video. I don't even care. We got Donovan Mitchell. What's the song? I'm Coming Home. Donovan Mitchell's in New York, and it's him and RJ Barrett right now. We got to figure out the rest of the roster. The thing that's good about our team right now is that a lot of these people are on 1-year contracts. You know what I'm saying? D Rose, 1-year contract. Kemba Walker, 1 year left on his contract. Even Alec Burks. So, you know, this might not be a year that we compete for a championship, but it might be coming up. I felt like I finessed. So you know what? I'm gonna give them this Dallas pick, you know, just because I feel like I finessed too much, just a little bit too much. So now you got Dallas's next year pick as well. Okay, so Chet went number 1. AJ Griffin goes number 2. Paolo's there, and with the 9th overall pick, they got JD Davison, who is a player legitimately. I have no idea who he is, but he could be John Wall though. So that's not too bad if you're trying to hit the quick reset. Mitchell Robinson is in unrestricted free agency right now. And it's about $15 million a year. And you know what? I don't think I hate that too much, man. Because if we got $15 million a year for him, we're going to have Donovan Mitchell's contract that's going to kick in for real this season, which is worth $30 million. And then we're going to have to re-sign RJ to an extension. And that's going to be like all the money. We still have Evan Fournier, but we could probably trade Evan Fournier at the deadline this season. I think I'm okay with giving Mitchell Robinson that amount of money, honestly. Worst case scenario, we trade him in a year or so. You know, this would not be a bad contract, I don't think, at 24 years old to hold down the center position for us. All right, I think this is a good offseason as long as RJ and Donovan understand that this is not a year that we're trying to compete. D Rose gets a little bit worse, and along with a lot of the players on the roster, that's completely okay with me because as much as we love Derrick Rose here, his contract is up next season. I want to try to bring him back for sure, but not at $14 million. We got to see what his market looks like. So the team looks like Alec Burks, Donovan Mitchell, RJ Barrett, Obi Toppin, and then Mitchell Robinson in the starting five. We got Maxi Kleber coming off the bench. Well, Derrick Rose is our sixth man. We got Maxi Kleber coming off the bench with Nerlens, who should be getting a little bit more minutes than that. And then we got Caleb Martin and Miles McBride might get some minutes. We also drafted this guy out of LSU. I'm not a draft expert, y'all, so I don't know him, but he was the highest overall player available, so I selected him. And he's only 21 years old, so maybe in some time he gets some real PT. But right now, Quentin Grimes has to get playing time, actually. Quentin Grimes has to get playing time. We got to get some minutes for Q. All right, there's Q. He's getting about 14, 15 minutes per. And this is what our team looks like. We're probably not a playoff team this season, but luckily for us, we did not trade away our own first-round pick this year. First game of the season is a win, but it's against the Orlando Magic. And Donovan Mitchell in his very first game as a New York Knick decided to take off. We love that. As you know, as you can see, Evan Fournier got a DNP coach's decision. I'm going to go out there. I don't know why RJ's on the trade block because he shouldn't be. And add a few players to the block. I guess a few would be these two. Basically the same. The people that we picked up last year in free agency, we're going to put them on the block. And maybe since this is the last year of Kemba Walker, there's a team out there willing to take on his contract. Or Evan Fournier, we got to get rid of one way or another. Even if we have to throw away a future asset, that $18 million for a dude that's not even playing for us has to go. We're at the trade deadline, and we are the 2 seed. So, 15 games over 500, so that's a really good thing. I said this is not going to be a season where we out there doing our thing, but so far we have. Donovan Mitchell in his first year so far, halfway through, he's averaging 30 points per game. RJ Barrett, he jumped up to something from a few years ago, but still looking solid. I want you to get that three-point percentage back to what it was when y'all went on that playoff run. Come on, man. Mitchell Robinson, first year as a full-time starter, almost averaging a double-double, shooting 75% from the field. Obi Toppin's first time as a full-time starter, averaging about 9.5 points per game with 6 rebounds. So these are going good. Q Grimes off the bench, looking good. Shooting splits ain't too crazy, but looking solid. Nerlens Noel always going to be a good backup player to have on the team. But I think we haven't played Kemba. Oh, we have played Kemba this season. No, this is last year. We haven't played Kemba this season. We haven't played Evan Fournier. Oh, he's played at least a minute. He's played 1 minute. So I'm hoping that there are some teams out there that'll be willing to take on Evan Fournier's contract and maybe Kemba Walker too. The Lakers are buying, but they're the Lakers are buying, but they are 12-44. Okay, that's insane. I'm looking for some teams that are. I'm not looking to make no extravagant changes. So I see Luka's untouchable. I'm not about to try to put together trades to get Luka on the team. But I am looking for teams that might need a good backup point guard. It's not this team because I forgot Ben Simmons plays. A team that might be looking for a good backup point guard around the $8 to $9 million mark, and they got 3 good point guards there, so that's not the case. See, Jose Alvarado is starting here, and I like Jose. But does Kemba help them? They're a really, really good team. Would they be willing to trade me Larry Nance Jr. for Kemba? Probably not, because Larry Nance is actually in their rotation, and they don't have any bad contracts here, so I think we go past them. The Bucks are looking for some backup point guard play. Give me a second-round pick and Javon Carter, and you got yourself a deal. Cool. All right, so we got rid of Kemba. We sent them to a team that is not in the not in the playoffs right now. I don't know why the Bucks are not in the playoffs right now, but they're not in the playoffs right now, even with the same core. But now Kemba's there, so maybe Kemba helps. And the Jazz are still in the conversations, man. They're a 500 team at the moment. They're starting all 3 of the pieces that we gave them. Rudy Gobert's first year as the guy. He hit a 3. So look out. Julius Randle dropped off to 12 points per game. That's insane. Cam Reddish is averaging more than him right now. Quickly's going to be the guy there in Utah for sure. Eventually. It's going to take some time, but eventually. But now we got to find a team that has cap space that might be willing to take on Evan Fournier's contract. The defending champions, it would feel weird for the defending champions to take on dead salary, so I'm not going to do that. Bradley Beal left the Washington Wizards. I don't know where he's at, but he left the Washington Wizards, and their cap space is non-existent. I don't even know what that means, but maybe they're a team that we throw him to. OKC is always going to be some place that we look at, so maybe that's another place. And the Pistons have some cap space as well. They brought in Anthony Simons, which I actually really like. If you're going to spend some money in restricted free agency, getting Anthony Simons to be alongside Kate Cunningham don't sound that bad. And if you're wondering, the Spurs ended up getting Bradley Beal. So I'm going to go trade finder for him. He's got 2 years plus an option left at $18 million. Again, like I said, I might have to attach a pick or something to him. But see, this is why we don't do 2K trades. We're trying to do somewhat realistic trade. Because why would the defending champions give me 2 first-round picks for a dude that don't play? Why would they do that? A 30-year-old dude that don't play, that's getting worse. But Kelly Olynyk plays for the Pistons. And I would be willing to give them their own second round pick back because they're one of the worst teams in the league. So that's like the 33rd overall pick. And then I'm willing to give you this one from the Cavs too. Just take on the dead salary for us. Thank you. Kelly Olynyk is actually on the team, and we're going to buy him out. We're gonna buy him out. I know the buyout market is not a thing in NBA 2K, but I'm gonna do it anyway. So now he can go on to his next team, and pretty much our team is the exact same. I'm gonna simulate like a week into it because I actually want to see what team he signs with, if he does. Because 2K is kind of weird like that. They'll still have him looking to be getting $15 million a year, which is just unrealistic for a dude that just got released, and he still didn't get picked up. So there's that. Okay, whatever. I'm going to go to the end of the season. We are a playoff team guaranteed, but it's just a matter of how good are we going to be. Don't see us as championship team just yet, but next year might be our year. Joel Embiid finally gets his first MVP award. He deserved it. They were really good this season. We dropped down to the 3 seed. Again, that's okay with us. Kay Cunningham becomes the first player in NBA history to win back-to-back Rookie of the Years. So that's something that's happening in my simulation right now. He's pulling a Blake Griffin. If you know, you know. If you've been around the channel since 2K18, you know the Blake Griffin. He did that. What an amazing feat from the guy named Kay Cunningham. DeAnthony Melton was 6th man of the year. He averaged 18. This is real life my guy. So to see him in the game average 18 makes me super happy. Shout out to DeAnthony Melton. Giannis Defensive Player of the Year again. DeAnthony Melton's most improved and 6th man in the same season. He averaged 2 steals off the bench. It's crazy. His efficiency wasn't crazy good, but if you average an 18, you average an 18. And they ended up winning 64 games, so they might repeat. You know what I'm saying? So let's see. Do we have anybody from the New York Knicks? I would guess that Donovan Mitchell is on the All-NBA team, and he is. Cool. All right, out west. The Jazz are trying to make the playoffs, and they did. You look at that. The Jazz are a playoff team, even after trading Donovan Mitchell. So that's pretty good. We're going against I don't like this matchup. We're going against the C's, who are starting Kyle Anderson at the 4 and Peyton Pritchard at the 1. Who else is on this team? Do they still have Marcus Smart somewhere down there? They do. They still got Derek White. Okay. I still don't like this matchup for us, considering they got Jason Tatum, and he's a dog, as we all know. Game 1, we win. 2, we win. Oh, imagine we win a championship in this first year. Nope. What am I talking about? All right, cool. Again, I didn't think that we were going to win it, so this is no big deal. I wasn't done with my rebuild. And the Hornets, the 4th-seeded Hornets, win the championship. And they didn't make any big changes. They got the guy Jeremy out of Baylor in the draft, and that's it. This is the same team. LaMelo just hit superstardom, I guess, 93 overall, and they win a championship. Wow. All right. So this season, this offseason should be an interesting one for us because we have some money in cap. Now, we do have to re-sign RJ Barrett. We have the 24th overall pick in this year's draft. Not too bad. The Suns have the 1st overall pick somehow. They were bad. I'm going to do the thing finally. Tom Thibodeau, thank you for your services, but we're going to fire you and bring in Hal Monk. That's the guy we're signing. He had no badges, but that's the guy we're signing. Okay, so if you look at our roster, re-sign RJ. We still have Mitchell Robinson here. And then every other player on this roster is an expired contract, which is so interesting to me. I don't know what RJ Barrett is going to want in free agency. How old are you? I mean, how good of a season did you have again? He averaged about 18 points per game last year, and his 3-point percentage was close to what it was 2 years ago. So I like them numbers from him. I did not load in the draft class because I don't trust any of the draft classes that are outside of this first year. So we will have to draft some. Oh my God, a point guard, 22 years old. He could be Raymond Felton, who's a Knicks legend, or he could be Eddie Johnson. I mean, I got to select them at the 24th overall pick. Who are you? Or get a Horace Grant type guy he was the best power forward in this entire draft. I think I'm going to go with Matt Bender, though, because he had more badges and he's more NBA ready. And I think next year is a year that we're trying to compete one way or another. So I brought in him as a backup point guard type player. We have Obi here, who we're gonna re-sign, but everybody else, I'm letting y'all walk to see what y'all market is. I love you, D Rose, and hopefully we can bring you back. But at 34 years old, I'm not giving you $15 million, so I'm just gonna let you go. RJ's looking at $34 million. Jeez, RJ, do you understand how much of a hole you're putting us in if we sign you to that? I mean, if we don't sign you to that, we have money to bring back Porzingis. No, we're not doing that. Free agency doesn't look too spectacular. Not an amazing draft free agency class at all. LeBron is here, but I don't really want to have LeBron on the team. We have like restricted free agents, but the Pelicans are going to match that. The Cavs are going to match that. It's a lot of restricted free agents. And we have like Jeremy Grant, who could come onto the team and help at least a little bit for $14 million. Maybe this is not a team that we go out and get a superstar because there's not a superstar, but maybe we sign Jeremy Grant, and then we sign us a good point guard because we didn't really have that. We had Alec Burks as our point guard last season. Only problem is the point guards on the market not too great. We have an old Mike Conley. We have a very old Mike Conley as the best available point guard, and we just broke up him and Donovan Mitchell. We don't want to bring that back together. Derrick Rose, real life, is the best available point guard, and I think we could just bring him back for the low, but that's not getting the job done unless we decide. Donovan, at 6'1", what did you average from when it comes to assisting last season? 5.5 assists. We're going to have you be our full-time one. Our full-time point guard. That is your new objective this season. And we bring in a Gary Trent Jr. to be the 2 to defend a little bit and hit some shots. And then we have RJ at the 3. And then we still have money to bring in potentially like a HB who's a little bit older, of course, than Jeremy Grant, but a little bit less expensive. And then okay, that's my game plan. I'm going to see how Donovan Mitchell plays as the primary ball handler, as the 1, and then we're going to go out there and try to bring in Gary Trent Jr. for a little bit less than this because he could grow with us, but that's a lot of money. $21 million a year. The Lakers tried to sign RJ. Well, we finally have to spend that money, y'all. RJ, we're matching that, and we have to renounce the rights on him. We lost out on a couple of the power forwards we were looking at. Harrison Barnes signed somewhere else, and Jeremy Grant signed somewhere else, so our power forward position is kind of open. We can still use Obi Toppin here. He's probably going to get at least a little bit better. So I guess we're now thinking about who can back him up. But I'm liking what we're doing right here. You know, I'm liking this. And if I change him to a point guard, he's a better overall player. So Donovan Mitchell, this is your job now. We got to figure out that backup small or power forward position. It's not a ton of options here. We can bring in Royce O'Neal, but he's going to regress a little bit. This has definitely been tougher than I expected. It hasn't been squeaky clean. You know what I'm saying? So this is what our team looks like going into year 3. I'm pretty sure we're going into. Donovan's up to a 91, which is great. RJ's up to an 85, making that bank. Shout out to him. We brought in Gary Trent Jr. Mitch Robb is still our starting center, and we're going to have Obi, who did not get better at all. Obi might be a player that we trade at the deadline, potentially to level up. We brought in Kevin Love, who I was expected to regress at least a little bit, but he didn't. He actually was getting better at his 3-point shot. You know, he's our backup power forward now. Q Grimes is getting better. D Rose is dropping, but at 78 overall, he's still a serviceable backup point guard, and that's pretty much it. We brought in like Derek Favors, Kenrich Williams to fill up the roster. I like this version of the Knicks better than last year's version. Last year's version was a 3 seed, so I'm feeling good about what we could potentially do. Again, our biggest hole is at power forward position for sure, having Obi Toppin as our starter there, but the rest feels about right. They actually want to start Kevin Love. I think Kevin Love probably works better off the bench. That's what he's been playing in real life for the past couple seasons, and he's had a resurgence this year in real life. So, you know, I want to keep him that way. We lose game 1 where we gave up 150 points of regulation. Okay, not the greatest. I don't know who you are, Michael Foster, but why did you have to do that to us? Out of high school, 28th overall pick out of high school. You just did that like that? Oh my God, this is a real dude, I guess. We did kick it into gear, and we are 2 games over the Cavaliers to that 1 spot in the Western or Eastern Conference, which is great. 8-2 in our last 10. We are a really good home team. Away, still good, but not as good as when we're in the mecca of ball. All right, now we got to figure out what we do or how we get to the point where we're the overwhelming favorites. And his first year as a starting point guard of this team, his numbers have dropped just a little bit. New responsibilities, but we're still looking good. RJ dropped a little bit, still looking good. Gary Trent got better. 30% from threes, kind of wild for a guy that I paid to come shoot threes. Regardless, we're still winning games. Kevin Love, look at that. Kevin Love is having a great year. A great year. What a good pickup, Kenny. Q Grimes. I gotta find a way to get Q Grimes into the rotation a little bit more. Either way, like we gotta go around the league and see who's doing what, and if there's a team that has a power forward that's selling or rebuilding that we can snag. I actually cannot find anything. The problem is Obi Toppin is still only making 6.8, and to try to pair that up to get somebody even better, we'd have to trade one of our star players, and that's just not what I really want to do. I'm a little bit afraid about having Mitchell Robinson as our starting center on a championship quality team. I'm not sure exactly why, but I'm a little bit afraid of it. We got him on a really good deal, 3 years, $45 million left. So maybe like there's not a lot of moves to be made, y'all. There's not a lot of moves to be made unless we decide that, hey, Gary Trent shooting 30% from three is not what we signed up for, so let's get rid of him. But that feels unrealistic. We were missing a good backup wing, so we drafted this guy, Matt Bender, who hasn't played for us. We're going to flip him in a first-round pick, and Kenrich Williams, Kenny Hustle, who hasn't played, for Josh Green, who would legit, and Chris Boucher, I guess, who I might throw to a third team. We legitimately needed some backup small forward play because we had none. It was basically just RJ, do your work, RJ, do your work. And I guess Q Grimes got some minutes there, but regardless, we got Josh Green now on the team, and we didn't really need Chris Boucher, so I think that we throw him to a third team. Or I just make him the backup center because we had Derek Favors getting minutes, and though he's shooting 60% from the field, I know for sure the minutes with Derek Favors is, okay, it's slightly above average, plus minus. But you compare that to, I don't want to compare it to the starter, but like, come on, man. You know, so Chris Boucher is going to give us more quality minutes at that spot. And those might be the only trades I do, legit, bro. I'm going to change it to a 10-man, and those might be the only changes that we do to this team. So now we actually have Josh Green and Chris Boucher into the rotation, and they're going to play minutes. I'm going to keep it so that Obi Toppin is the starting power forward, and we go. Donovan, I need you to backpack us when playoff time come around. I think we can do it, but I need you to step it up. Ant-Man, Anthony Edwards wins MVP in his 22-year-old season. Wow, okay. There's Rookie of the Year. Naz Reid wins 6-man. Giannis, Evan Mobley wins Most Improved. And then Coach Chris Finch. The Timberwolves are nice. They got the MVP and Coach of the Year. They might be expected to win the championship. But we got some people over there too. You know what I'm saying? We might see y'all. If y'all can make it that far. So we did not get an All-NBA team from our guy Donovan, but that's okay. That's completely okay. They're going to show us the love once we raise that Larry O'Brien. So we ended up winning the 1 seed, and it was close. The Cavaliers were right on our tails, but we won the last game of the season, and that was all we needed to get over and take that overall home court advantage in the playoffs, or in the Eastern Conference of the playoffs. I'm going to change the rotation just a little bit as we get prepared to go on this journey. I want him getting a lot of minutes, and I want him getting a lot of minutes. Those are our two best players. Donovan, I see that everybody's tired, geez. But I see that y'all tired, but that ain't no problem. You know, you're going to get a little bit of rest after you sweep the rematch. It's a rematch from last year. We didn't re-up a little bit, got a little bit better, and y'all got worse, I guess, because y'all are a playing team, and we get through that. Look at that. I was going to say we got to rest, but they also swept the Hornets, who are the defending champions. Same exact roster. LaMelo's even better this year than last. I think he was at 93 when he won Finals MVP. We win game 1, though. And blew him out, too. Hold on. Blew him out, too. 52. See, Donovan Mitchell, playoff player. Ooh, undefeated going into the conference finals. And we're going to go against the Brooklyn Nets. Okay, New Orleans. I see how it is. He said, I like the state of New York too much to leave it, so he sided with the opposition. Can't rock with you no more, New Orleans. Can't rock with you no more. But y'all know what this team looked like. Joe Harris got a little bit worse, or not a little bit, a lot worse at a 74 overall. So we got that advantage. I guess Donovan Mitchell at this point in his career is better than Kyrie Irving. But that's it. Game 1, we lose. Kyrie, he heard me talking. Okay, game 2, we lose. Great. Cam Thomas, who's averaging 25 in the playoffs off the bench. How did this guy not win? How did he not win 6-man of the year, averaging 22 off the bench? In the playoffs, he kicked it out. Hold on. Nah, we're not doing this. I'm gonna have to shorten my rotation. Donovan's locked in, bro. He's locked in. Gary Trent Jr., I mean, he's not scoring a bunch, but at least his efficiency's up in the playoffs. What I'm not gonna say it was a bad signing, but man, we could have done better than having Gary Trent Jr. if he was gonna do this. K-Love is having an okay series or okay season in the playoffs, but I still like the starter unit. I like Kevin Love off my bench, you know? We're going to have him run backup center on the bench unit as well. All right, we kick it into gear. Come on. We done lost home court advantage, but we win. I mean, so home court is a thing, obviously, but the fans are traveling. You know, you can get from the Mecca to Brooklyn real quick. So we got a little 50, I'm going to say 50-50 slide no matter where we at. We down 3-1. Oh, man. Okay. I don't think there's anything more we can do. There's not a defensive assignment we can put on KD that's going to stop KD. Let's go ahead and simcast this. We're at home. Force this game 6. Dang. I don't know if it's going to happen. Wow. Yes, it is. Maybe. Yes, it is. Oh, we're in overtime. Yes, it is. Whoo. Hey, my heartbeat is going crazy right now. Okay. All right. So oh my God. I tried to simcast it and we simulated it. We have taken home court advantage back. We have taken home Kevin Love close to a triple dub. Come on, man. We have taken back home court advantage. We are one game away from being in the finals after being down 3-1. After being 3-1, right? After being down 3-1, we take it back home court advantage and we win the series. We won the series. Oh my God. In a game 7, Donovan Mitchell played some of his best basketball yet. Whew, I'm losing my voice, y'all. I'm so hyped. I'm so excited. And we're going against the Minnesota Timberwolves. You couldn't do. Oh, and Minnesota Timberwolves had LeBron. They had LeBron. Wow. Okay, but we're going against the Houston Rockets, who have Jalen Green, Porzingis, Keegan Murray, Jeremy Strong, whoever that is, and Alperen Sengun. We're better. We went through our NBA Finals. That was Brooklyn. Brooklyn was our finals matchup. Y'all. Ooh, Donovan Mitchell, age 27 year. He wins finals MVP. Let's get it. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, be sure to leave it a like. If you watched the entirety of the thing, type in PGD Mitch so I know you watched the whole thing. You saw what switch his positions. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Peace.